Rev up your engines!
Well, here's the top 10 vehicles. They have the biggest discounts. Unfortunately, you probably wouldn't want to buy any of them if you're smart, because here's the list. Number 1 is Jeep Gladiator. 2 is Alfa Romeo Giulia. 3 is Ram 1500. They're all Chrysler products, right? Because they're junk and nobody wants to buy them. Nissan Armada is the next one. Not a great vehicle. Cadillac XT4, known for having problems. Mercedes-Benz EQB. Well, who wouldn't think that a Mercedes wouldn't be problems? A Volvo XC40 is next. Then the Volvo XC60, then the Volvo XC90, and then again another Alfa Romeo Stelvio. These are all vehicles you should never buy, according to me. I don't care what the price is. Yeah, they're discounting. They're giving deep discounts because people are starting to wise up. Maybe more people are watching me, right? And they're not buying these crappy cars, and now they got a deep discount on them to get rid of them. Why do you think you can buy something cheaper? Because it's not any good, and they have to lower the price because no one is buying them. Think discount bin. Okay, go to any store. And they always have that discount bin, right? Did you ever look at the crap that's in the discount bin? It's junk that nobody wants. Usually it's cheap-made Chinese tools or something that's sitting there, right? You shouldn't really buy any of these top 10 cars that you can get a better price at, because I'd put them in the bottom 10 cars that you should never buy. But on the other hand, you can get them cheaper. Well, Jimmy from Brooklyn has a great one. I have a 2023 Chevy Colorado, he says, and it already broke down. I'm writing to spread the word. I purchased a brand new 2023 Chevy Colorado for a work truck. A month ago, the battery was dead. I charged it and brought it to the dealer. They told me there's a software update issue which is causing the batteries to die. They said they have to replace the battery. There's no recharging the battery. Then again, last week, I went to start the truck, and the same thing happened. I had to jump start and brought it back, and they said the same thing. We got to replace the battery. I'm in New York. If I have to do it a third time, it'd be covered under the lemon law, and I'd have to get a new truck. This is so upsetting how bad Chevy's build quality has gotten. Well, it's not just me. Jimmy from Brooklyn agrees, and he bought one. He went further than I did, though. I would never buy one of those things, you know? Software and will replace your battery. But then the same thing happened again. They did it again. This is a brand new vehicle, right? And it's already not starting. And it's done it twice. They said they fixed it. Well, he's right. If they don't fix it right the third time, that's the lemon law. And he should be able to just get his money back and get away from GM, because their quality is going down the toilet. It's been going down the toilet since probably, I don't know, 2010. Since old Mary took over, Mary Barra, the CEO, it's really been dropping like a stone. All talk, oh, we're going to electrify America. Well, maybe if they do electrify America, we'll all become electrocuted or burnt down with electric vehicles that start on fire or short out. They can't even make a battery in a regular Colorado with a gasoline engine work right. What if the whole thing is electric? Phil next says, the immobilizer in my Honda causes no start condition. I got an '09 Honda Accord. Key flashing light sometimes stays on the green. I have to try many times for the key light to go off and the car will start. I want to purchase a new key immobilizer from Honda, but they're on national back order and they don't know when they're going to get them. I've heard of lots of issues with these. So what am I going to do? Do you think maybe I could replace the other part by removing the amplifier and coil pickup receiver? Well, maybe, but I doubt it. Now, you see, it's on national back order. That means they're all breaking. So it's a stupid thing in your hand that's broken. Now, on the other hand, call up a bunch of locksmiths. Locksmiths often work on immobilizer systems for cars. They have their own stock of things. Yeah, maybe the Honda dealer doesn't have it. Call a bunch of locksmiths. Even go online. See if you can find a locksmith that can do that. Or there's Tom's Keys online, Tom's Keys. And he's got a deal where you take a picture of your assembly and then they can send you one with a little unit that you put a credit card on to keep it above board. The machine is relatively expensive. Put a charge on your credit card, and then when you send the machine back, you get your credit back on. Tom's Keys, they do stuff like that. Don't just think the only place you get it done is a Honda dealer. Many, many locksmiths do that kind of stuff. And they usually have a pretty good stock, and they'll probably have one that'll fit your Honda, and you can go there and get it done. Dave B345 says, can I get compensation from a dealership? My girlfriend got a new Audi A3, but has to leave the car for a week because the backup camera doesn't work. She has less than 1,000 miles. I had it less than a month. Can I ask for compensation for this? It's kind of ridiculous. We went through this inspection. When they sold it to us, I noticed. Thanks. One, your girlfriend should have never bought Audi. They're endless money pits, but you'll never get a penny out of them, right? Now, if they have to keep that car for a week, they got to give her a loaner car. They gave her a loaner car, what the heck? She got a car, she's driving around. But if she thinks this is bad. Wait till it gets old and starts falling apart. I feel sorry for people who buy them, but she bought it. You're not going to get any money from them, and you'll be lucky if they fix it within a week. But now, hopefully they gave her a rental car free, because if they're keeping a car for a week and it's a warranty, they got to give you a rental car. There's laws for that kind of stuff. They'd have to give you a rental car. As long as they give her a rental car, live with it. But she picked the wrong car. I feel sorry for her, but she picked the wrong car. Wait till it gets older, she's going to find it's really going to be inconvenient when it breaks down and it's not under warranty anymore, or they say, oh, well, that part isn't covered under the warranty. You got to pay for that. A lot of the Audi warranties are scumbags. They give you a warranty, but they said the warranty's only valid if you take it back to the dealer to have it maintained. And then every 5,000 miles, they want, $800, $1,200 from you to maintain the car, right? She bought the wrong car. J117 says, I have anti-theft problems after I put in a new lock cylinder. I replaced the lock cylinder on my Cavalier. It goes into theft system and it won't start. I tried to relearn, but it still doesn't. What should I do? Okay, well, numero uno. Where did you buy the new lock cylinder? Right? If you didn't buy an original equipment one, odds are it's not going to work. You buy that cheap Chinese crap, the computers don't interface, and of course, it has to be reprogrammed. You said you did a relearn thing, but a lot of those relearn things, they don't work. I've got $5,000 scan tools that relearn them, and they always work, right? You're not going to go buy a $5,000 scan tool, right? What you should do is find a locksmith, say, locksmith, can you reprogram? And they'll say, yeah, and then have them reprogram it. Your relearning process is a bunch of nonsense. I can just about guarantee you, unless you installed it and the wires are loose, you got a bad cylinder and it won't work with the anti-theft system, because now your light's coming on because it won't accept the piece that you bought because it's junky. When you're dealing with computer parts, anti-theft parts on a car, you better buy original equipment or you're going to regret it later on. I've seen them like yours, they don't work. I've also seen them where they work for 6 months and then break, and then you're all back to square one. You got to buy quality parts if you're messing with anti-theft computer systems. That's just how it is. The aftermarket stuff is generally garbage. Well, the Union Auto Workers of the United States has started a small strike on 3 different plants, one GM, one Ford, one Chrysler Stellantis. But the Canadian Ford workers are now getting an extension. They were supposed to make a decision the other day. They didn't. So they got an extension with Ford to do bargain agreements. See, the Canadians are playing a kind of coy there. They're waiting to see what happens in the States. Now, there's only 5,000 workers at Ford at 3 plants they have there, so it's not that big of a deal really in Canada. The Canadian union's called Unifor, and Ford says, I quote, we will continue to work collaboratively with Unifor to create a blueprint for the automotive industry that supports a vibrant and sustainable future in Canada. Notice they said in Canada. Of course, they're probably threatening them that, hey, we're going to move all the jobs to Mexico like they already have. I mean, all the Toyota Tacomas are now made in Mexico. Most of the big trucks sold in the United States are made in Mexico. GM, Ram, they've moved a bunch of stuff down to Mexico. And they only do it because the labor's cheaper, and every fool knows that. So here in the United States, so far at least 12,700 of the UAW workers at Ford, GM, and Chrysler Stellantis have gone on strike. That's 12,700 out of the over 145,000 workers there are. So it's a small percentage as it stands now. We'll see how it pans out. But, I mean, let's face the facts. The companies are just foaming at the bit, thinking, hey, let's move all the jobs to Mexico where we can pay them less money. That's what they're thinking, right? Bad enough that now they get all these tax breaks, right? And they say, because, it's done in America. Well, they don't bother to tell you that done in America generally means done in North America, and they can include Mexico with the American workers, which the American workers don't want to be included with whatsoever because they get much lower pay in Mexico. Well, you're not talking about those e-fuels, Oh, well, these are ecologically sound fuels. Well, guess what? Germany dropped their declaration for doing it in the near future from lack of support. They said nobody's supporting it because, numero uno, their study said that if they do ever do this, it's going to cost at least 50% more to make the fuel. So the fuel is going to cost 50% more, and that they might not be able to make enough. The world uses a tremendous amount of fuel. 35,400,000,000 barrels of oil a year. That's not gallons, that's barrels. This supposed eco-fuel stuff, it's already just a spit in the bucket. Porsche is doing some eco-fuel in South America somewhere, right? And they're talking about a maximum of a few 100 million gallons a year. The Germans are wising up and saying, well, maybe it was a good idea, but it's not going to pan out too well for us. We shouldn't put too much money into these things because it's economically unviable. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.